Hermes is the scandal now. No more whispers, no more luxury lore to hide behind. Something seriously wrong inside the house of Hermes, and the cracks are finally showing. Reports have exploded across fashion media. Hermes has allegedly shuttered multiple US locations. Chinese manufacturers, the very ones tied to the brand's global production, have suddenly pulled the plug. And to top it off, a brutal class action lawsuit is calling their entire sales model a scam. This isn't a PR hiccup. This is the kind of fallout that wrecks decades of built up prestige.
Got a lot of requests, do Hermes next. And that's why we're here in the Highland Park Mall.
Italy, made in China, or maybe made in Chile. Oh yeah, that should be a thing, by the way. I have spent over $100,000 of my own money dissecting luxury bags, cutting them open, analyzing every stitch, every layer. Why? Because I had to know what made those bags so expensive.
It requires a lot of skill to turn it and get it in the right way.
Il y a des bouchées, des bacs plus 4, 5, 6, on en a. Hein.
Does anybody have the Louis Vuitton from China?
De l'entrée, où on me donne des morceaux de cuir jusqu'au moment où je vais avoir livré ma pièce, je veux pas qu'on reproduise un geste de façon indéfinie en se disant bon bah je fais toujours ce même geste et donc, je pense qu'on est vraiment là pour apprendre un métier et pas des tâches.
My point is, I think it's crazy how designer brands have been selling things for thousands when China sell them on and literally they're so cheap. If the Chinese manufacturers are making the same, like the actual Birkins, and then they are also selling these on the side as well, technically this is an absolute fucking bargain because it's the exact same material as a Birkin.
And it's not just about bags, it's about manipulation, corporate bullying, and the lengths luxury giants go to protect their illusion of exclusivity. Hermes, once the untouchable titan of quiet wealth, is now being accused of treating customers like pawns in a rigged game. Allegedly, the very system that made Birkin bags a billionaire flex is now the reason Hermes is spiraling. And what we're seeing could be the brand's most public unmasking yet. But this all started with one strange move.
I need you people to wake up and critically think and stop believing this shit that you see on TikTok, okay?
You mean to tell me you believe that this man is making your Birkins in China? If he's a Birkin artisan, then I'm an astronaut.
It's made in China. I can get that for $12.
Go outside and touch grass. Some of you guys feel like this is your moment to shine and you can finally stick it to people that buy luxury.
One so-called retreat that didn't sit right with anyone. In September 2024, something weird happened. Without warning, Hermes shut down every US boutique, corporate office, and even their online store. Not for renovations, not for rebranding, but for a company-wide retreat in Palm Desert, California. Let that sink in. One of the most powerful luxury empires in the world just ghosted its customers for a desert bonding trip. Officially, it was billed as a corporate recharge, but nobody's buying that. Not with everything else unraveling. This so-called escape happened just as rumors started flying about internal audits, leadership shakeups, and mounting pressure from legal teams.
And a Louis Vuitton that they got at the designer store, because I need to see a side-by-side. I have to know if there's any discrepancies or any differences, or is it the exact same thing? Because I'm starting to feel ripped the fuck off right now. I got a closet full of this shit that I paid thousands for. And you're telling me it's all been made in China and I could have just gone straight to China and gotten this shit? It just can't be the same. It cannot be the same. And if it is, damn, we all got played. Well, not all of us, but a lot of us. Seriously, please don't tell me I got played. I refuse to believe that there's no difference.
This is why this bag from our factory only costs you 1,000 USD.
Have you all seen that TikTok by the Chinese guy exposing how luxury goods are actually made? The only real difference? China ships the products to Europe, slaps on a made in France or made in Italy label, and boom, luxury? It's ridiculous.
Wasn't a getaway, it was a lockdown. Behind closed doors, sources say panic was brewing. Lawsuits were hitting headlines. Chinese manufacturers were allegedly threatening exposure. And inside Hermes HQ, executives were scrambling to contain a mess that was growing louder by the day. And what happened after that retreat? Stores didn't bounce back with confidence. Staff layoffs began trickling in, orders slowed, key customer appointments were canceled, and whispers inside the fashion world turned into full-blown warnings. Something big was going down behind the scenes at Hermes. And what happened next? Pulled production, international backlash, and lawsuits that tore the velvet curtain wide open. Chinese manufacturers halt production. This is where the house of cards really started to fall.
These are pieces of artwork. These artisans train years and years to make one of these bags.
Fabrice is doing the last stitching on a Kelly bag. A Kelly takes around 13 hours to be made, depending on the materials that we make it. Our artisans, they need to do 4 years of training to be able to manufacture a Kelly bag.
Well, Hermes says, made in China, does it feel cheaper? No, that's not a quality issue. It's luxury brand washing.
Hermes, you guys, it's time to show off your factories. No, I don't want to wait to go on YouTube and watch a beautiful documentary on. Show them off right here on TikTok. Let the world see. Okay, get like China. You gotta be ghetto about it. Just let people know.
It starts with 30 distinct cuts of leather and can take 20 hours to complete, 4 hours for just the handle. Put the finishing touches on a Kelly, the most difficult bag to build. Artisans rely on their training and muscle memory to make every bag.
You can continue to expose all of these retailers. Nobody's gonna care.
I am about to crash.
Y'all would never catch me in nothing fake. No fake earrings, no fake bracelets, no fake shoes, nothing fake designer. It's gonna be a no for me.
Out.
Multiple Chinese manufacturers quietly responsible for key components of Hermes' global inventory have allegedly pulled the plug. Overnight, no press release, no graceful transition, just silence. But here's where it gets explosive. This move came right after Hermes reportedly filed lawsuits against those same factories. Why? Because they allegedly spilled the truth. According to insiders, these manufacturers were under strict NDAs and quietly producing pieces Hermes swore were handcrafted in France. When whispers surfaced that Hermes had been outsourcing more than it let on, these factories became the scapegoats. Hermes hit them with legal firepower. But the manufacturers didn't just take it, they allegedly retaliated by walking away. Production lines stopped, supply chains froze, and suddenly the brand that never has enough Birkin bags couldn't even guarantee when the next one would be made. And that sent shockwaves through their elite customer base. The wait lists that once stretched years now looked even more like a cover-up. But the real question? Why would manufacturers risk burning bridges with one of the richest brands in fashion? Maybe because they were tired of being complicit. Maybe because Hermes had been playing both sides, glorifying French craftsmanship while quietly relying on overseas mass production. And if the factories were done keeping secrets, the world was about to find out what Hermes never wanted public. Right in the middle of this global supply chain meltdown, Hermes got slapped with a lawsuit that cuts at the heart of everything they've built. Filed in California, this class action lawsuit accuses Hermes of straight up manipulating customers. According to the plaintiffs, the brand doesn't just make it hard to get a Birkin bag, it makes it impossible unless you play their game. What game? It's called pay up or stay out. Allegedly, if you want a Birkin, you can't just walk in and ask for one. Sales associates are instructed to size you up, see how much you've spent on other items first. Scarves, jewelry, shoes, thousands of dollars on qualifying purchases that have nothing to do with the bag you actually want. And if you don't spend enough, you don't even get offered a Birkin. You're invisible. This isn't some urban legend. It's the entire basis of the lawsuit. The plaintiffs claim this is tying, an illegal sales tactic where access to one product is conditional on buying something else. And when the product in question is one of the most expensive handbags on earth, that's not just unethical, it could be criminal. What makes this lawsuit even more damning is how open the alleged practice is. Fashion influencers, resale experts, even former Hermes employees have talked about it for years. Now it's not just gossip, it's going to court. And the implications are massive. If Hermes loses this case, they won't just face fines, they'll face an unraveling of the very system that made them so elite. And yet, this was just the beginning, because the real bombshell was still coming. Allegations of tying sales practices. This is where Hermes' entire business model starts to look like a scam. At the core of the lawsuit is a brutal accusation Hermes isn't just selling luxury like a distractable, it's controlling access to it like a puppet master. According to legal filings, Hermes allegedly engages in tying, a sales tactic that's not just shady, it's illegal. The scheme: if you want to buy a Birkin bag, you don't get to just walk in, swipe your card, and walk out. You're allegedly forced to spend thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, on smaller, less coveted items first. Want a Birkin? Better buy 5 scarves. Want to be on the list? Better prove you're loyal with shoes, belts, and perfume you didn't ask for. This isn't customer service, it's a luxury hazing ritual. And here's the catch: customers don't realize it's a trap until they're already too deep. They invest in the illusion. They chase the unattainable. And Hermes allegedly profits at every step. That's the game, and according to the lawsuit, it's a rigged one. Antitrust experts say this kind of behavior, conditioning the sale of one item on the purchase of another, is exactly what tie-in laws were designed to stop. It punishes the consumer and protects the seller's dominance. And in Hermes' case, the profit margins are obscene. The lawsuit claims this system artificially inflates the brand's earnings while locking out any customer who won't play by the unwritten rules. So when people say a Birkin is earned, not bought, yeah, turns out they meant it. But with the court involved now, that gatekeeping may come with a massive price tag. The damage already done. Hermes used to be the crown jewel of quiet wealth. Now it's being dragged through the mud as a symbol of elitism gone rogue. The lawsuits, the shut doors, the exposed factories, it's all chipped away at the one thing luxury brands need more than anything else: trust. For years, Hermes cultivated mystique. They didn't run flashy ads. They didn't beg for influencers. They let the Birkin speak for itself. It worked. People chased it, fought for it, worshipped it. Now they're asking themselves, was I just being used? Online, loyal customers are venting. Former Hermes regulars are going public with their receipts, their horror stories, their silent rejection letters. One viral comment put it best: I spent $40,000, 0 cents, and still got ghosted. I was never elite enough. And the impact doesn't stop at public perception. This controversy is shaking the entire luxury fashion industry. Rival brands are watching, investors are watching, even resale markets are starting to wobble. If Birkin bags aren't rare by design, but rare by manipulation, what's the value in that? Hermes is no longer just a luxury label. It's a legal cautionary tale in the making. And up next, we dig into how they've responded and why it might already be too late. Hermes' response to allegations. Hermes isn't backing down. As the headlines exploded and lawsuits piled up, the brand finally broke its silence, but not with an apology, not even a hint of regret. Instead, Hermes came out swinging with cold denial. They claim the allegations are baseless. They insist their practices are lawful. And when it comes to the Birkin bag, Hermes says it's all about availability and customer interest. Translation: we'll sell it when we feel like it. No acknowledgement of tying tactics, no admission that sales associates have allegedly been coached to filter buyers based on their spending history. Just a familiar corporate shrug. To most people, it sounds like gaslighting in a silk scarf. Even their PR tone is calculated. Every official statement drips with classic Hermes language. Words like artisanship, heritage, savoir-faire. They keep talking about craftsmanship like it's a shield, as if hand stitching a bag somehow excuses manipulating customers into buying $10,000, 0 cents worth of filler items just to be considered. And while they maintain that their brand values remain intact, critics are asking, which values exactly? Because from the outside, it looks like those values include exclusivity at any cost, secrecy over transparency, and a business model built on dangling carrots in front of wallets. Behind closed doors, insiders claim Hermes is more worried about losing control than facing consequences. They're reportedly doubling down on NDAs, tightening internal communications, and preparing for more legal hits. So far, there's been no major leadership shift, no policy change, just silence, denial, and damage control. But as the courtroom gets louder and the customer patience wears thinner, Hermes might have to pick a new defense, because the old one, it's starting to fall apart. The unfolding situation has ignited debates among consumers and industry observers. Questions about transparency, fairness, and ethical business practices dominate discussions. The outcome of this controversy could influence consumer loyalty and potentially reshape dynamics within the luxury goods market. The lawsuit isn't going away, and neither is the spotlight. As court filings mount and depositions are scheduled, the luxury world is watching every move. This isn't just about whether Hermes broke the rules, it's about whether the entire luxury playbook is about to be rewritten. Attorneys representing the plaintiffs are reportedly preparing to subpoena internal Hermes documents, sales training manuals, and even customer purchase histories to prove a pattern of tying and gatekeeping. If they succeed, it could blow the lid off how exclusivity is weaponized in high fashion. Meanwhile, Hermes' legal team is fighting to dismiss the case entirely, but judges aren't brushing this off. The fact that this lawsuit has made it past initial hurdles means the court sees potential merit, and that's a red flag for the rest of the industry. The verdict, when it comes, won't just impact Hermes. It could trigger a legal domino effect for other luxury giants using the same tactics. Gucci, Chanel, Louis Vuitton. In short, this isn't just a lawsuit, it's a war over how luxury power is built and who's allowed behind the curtain. In Hermes, they're stuck on the front lines. Hermes stands at a crossroads, facing challenges that threaten to redefine its storied legacy. The convergence of store closures, halted production, and legal battles underscores the complexities of maintaining exclusivity in a modern, transparent world. As the brand navigates these turbulent waters, the luxury market watches, waits, and wonders. Can Hermes uphold its esteemed position, or will these controversies leave an indelible mark on its heritage?